My girlfriend, Vanessa, gave me the ultimatum last month. Right in the middle of our living room, she stood there, arms crossed, with a look of absolute conviction. My dog, Buster, a 7-year-old golden retriever I've had since he was a pup, was asleep at my feet. He must have sensed the tension, because he let out a little sigh in his sleep. "I can't do this anymore, Mark," she said, her voice sharp. "I'm sneezing all the time, my eyes are itchy, and I'm finding his hair on everything. It's disgusting." She pointed a dramatic finger at the sleeping dog. "You have to sell him. I'm allergic, and it's me or him." Here's the thing about the allergy. It was new. For the first year and a half we were together, there was no allergy. She loved Buster, or at least she acted like she did. The walks in the park, the Instagram photos with him, the cuddles on the couch, it was all perfect. Then her sister, Megan, moved back to town 6 months ago. Megan is one of those people who thinks animals belong on a farm, not in a city apartment. Suddenly, every time Vanessa came back from a sister's night out, the allergy would flare up. A sniffle here, a complaint about dog hair there. It started small, but it grew into this huge, unsolvable problem that was apparently ruining her life. I knew this wasn't about an allergy. It was about control. It was about Megan getting in her head, telling her that a serious, sophisticated couple doesn't have a big shedding dog in their 2-bedroom apartment. I'd had Buster for years before I even met Vanessa. He was there for me through a layoff, a bad breakup, and the loss of my dad. He wasn't a pet. He was family. Selling him was like asking me to sell a younger brother. I looked from her furious face down to Buster, who was now twitching, probably dreaming of chasing squirrels. I knew arguing was a trap. If I fought her, I was the bad guy who didn't care about her health. If I refused, I was the guy who chose a dog over her. She had built the perfect argument, where she was the victim no matter what. So, I took a different route. I stood up, walked over to her, and put my hands on her shoulders. I looked her right in the eyes with all the sincerity I could fake and said, "You're right. I'm so sorry I let it get this bad. You're my priority." The change was instant. The anger melted away, replaced by a triumphant, relieved smile. She hugged me tightly. "Oh, thank you, baby. I knew you'd understand. It's for the best, you'll see. We can finally have a clean, adult apartment." I just hugged her back, patting her on the back while staring over her shoulder at Buster. An ice-cold plan was already forming in my head. My priority wasn't her. My priority was the loyal, loving creature who had been by my side for 7 years, and I was about to give him the life he deserved. The next morning, while she was at her yoga class, I made my first call. It wasn't to an animal shelter or some rescue group. It was to a real estate agent, a guy named Phil, who had helped my friend sell his place last year. I told him I wanted to list my apartment for sale, effective immediately. There was a pause on the other end of the line. "Everything okay, man?" Phil asked.